Hey guys, it's time for another radio product review, and this one's a really tiny one. Introducing the Kaito KA200 AM/FM 2-band radio. This is a really small one, as you can see. Just to give you a quick comparison, here's the Sony that we did a review on earlier, and this thing just kind of dwarfs it, doesn't it? It's so small that if you wanted to, you could put it inside of an Altoids tin. But be warned, if you try doing that, you might get it stuck in there like I did and wouldn't be able to do your product review, and you might have to get some of your bug-out bag tools to get it out of there. But it does fit inside of an Altoids tin. It just is a little bit hard to get out of there. So let's get started on this review. Let's quickly go over the features of this radio. There's not a lot to it. It's very simple in design, but I find it to be quite effective. You have analog tuning. You have FM on top, AM on the bottom. You have a little tuning LED indicator light right here. On the side is where you have your tuning knob. Now these are all very small knobs on this thing. It's such a small radio. So it's kind of delicate tuning. On the top is where you have your telescoping antenna. You have your headphone jack, which is in stereo, and then you have your volume control right here. On the right, this is where you have your power off, your AM and FM. So let's quickly turn it on. I'm going to put the telescoping antenna up. Let's go to the AM stations first. As you can see, the tuning LED indicator is on. And let's go over to the FM stations. Kind of breezing through it a little fast. Now if you wanted to, you could get this thing pretty loud.
This kind of parental involvement wouldn't be possible. To talk to other people. News center.
This thing can get actually fairly loud. And that's about it on the features. This thing takes two AAA batteries, which you see in the back here. And that's about it. Let's go over the size and weight of the Kaito KA200. It's very small. So in length it's about 3.5 inches, which is a little less than 9 centimeters. The width of it is around 2 inches, which is, it looks like a little over 5 centimeters. And then in thickness, it's about 3/4 of an inch, which is about 2 centimeters. So it's very, very small, much smaller than the Sony AM/FM pocket radio. The antenna of this thing is around 7 inches in length. So all in all, it's very small. I mean, this is easily a pocket radio. You could put this in your jeans pocket, you could put it in your jacket pocket, and you probably even forget it's there. Here's my cell phone just to give you an example, and this thing's a lot smaller than it. Let's do a quick weight on it. So with the batteries, this weighs 3 ounces. So very light. Let's put that in grams really quick, which is 85 grams. There's not a lot of bad things I could say about this radio. At $13, it's a great price. You could get that on Amazon.com and also CountyCom.com. I really like how it has very simple controls to it. It's very easy to operate.
Indianapolis or whatever it is.
It has a good signal.
Here in force. Just a few ideas.
If you were to say maybe a couple cons, I would say that the tuning on it and the volume control is very sensitive since there are very small knobs on it. So you kind of have to have a delicate touch to it, but it's such a small radio you kind of have to expect that. Another con I would say is that it has a curved base to it, so sometimes it's a little hard to stand up. You could definitely do it, but most of the time it's, you kind of have to do a little balancing act versus something like the Sony, which is very simple to stand up. So I kind of wish that maybe it was a little flatter here and maybe had some kind of texturized bottom to it so it would make it easier to stand up. But other than that, it's really great. This could be a good primary radio, and it could be a good backup radio. Perhaps you'd want to have a backup radio and maybe have another radio that would be your main primary radio that would have some other features on it like shortwave or weather band, since this is only the 2-band. But other than that, I think that's about it. I think this would be good for your EDC. It's a true pocket radio versus this, which I would call more of a handheld. It'd be good for a bug-out bag and also for a backup radio. If you have any questions regarding this little Kaito KA200, please feel free to leave some comments below in the comment section, or you could write me a personal message as well. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I will talk to you guys later.
I always appreciate you joining in. John Kincaid, KIN.